Hi, I'm Simon. Thanks for tuning in to The Ordinary Filmmaker. If you're new here, subscribe to get notification of new videos like this one so you don't miss any news, rumors, tutorials, or gear reviews. And by the way, I'm giving away a brand new Canon EOS R5 full-frame mirrorless camera to one lucky viewer. Details are in the description down below, or you can watch this video here, but essentially all you have to do is subscribe for your chance to win. Now there is some legalese such as age restrictions and blackouts based on location, so I recommend taking a look at the video and looking at the terms and conditions down below. I couldn't decide if I had enough information to put out a video today. I felt the same way yesterday as well. There's been really very little in terms of substance regarding news or even rumors lately, and I believe that's mostly because, well, it's Black Friday, it's Thanksgiving in the United States, and this time of year it's all about revelry, it's about getting out there, it's about buying things, it's about shopping for Christmas presents, and people don't really have time to sit down and really pay attention to the news. So if you're going to put out news, guess what? It's not really going to be paid attention to. And even my favorite TV shows have been put on hold while people shop and celebrate. But I found this one story on Canon rumors to be quite interesting. Canon's Kengo Iizuka was interviewed by Manavi News, stating that Canon's considering more lenses like the RF 600mm f11 STM and the RF 800mm f11 STM Super Telephoto lens. So what does this mean? Are we going to get a 400mm or 1200mm STM lens? What possible lenses could Canon be thinking up? Iizuka goes on to say that these types of lenses weren't possible on DSLRs because of the autofocus technological differences between mirrorless and DSLRs. I'd very much be interested in a 400mm. Would it be f5.6? No, probably not. Probably something like f8, especially if it's much smaller than the 600mm. I recently bought the 800mm, and I really love this lens. That's it right over there. Beautiful lens. I'm going to keep it over there because I feel like since I bought it, I haven't been able to get to use it. Now, I did review this lens back in the summer, and I had a ton of fun with it. More fun than any other lens I've ever purchased. Going so far as to turn the Canon R5 into a telescope for a few evenings. Sadly, the weather right now hasn't enabled me to get outside recently. The November winds have given way to December storms, bringing lots of precipitations from heavy downpours, ice storms, and heavy snow. Today's a perfect example of that. It's been raining all day, a solid, steady rain that just won't stop. And it's just recently changed over to snow, and it's coming in sideways. It's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas. We just put up our tree on Saturday, so all that's missing is a nice blanket of the white stuff. Hopefully, the weather will clear up, the stars will come out, and I can turn my R5 back into a telescope. I'm ready. I recently ordered the Manfrotto 504X fluid video head along with the Manfrotto aluminum tripod. This should be strong enough to stabilize the Canon R5 with the 800mm in cropped mode to get some great astro shots. And just to keep things interesting, I also picked up the RF 2x extender, which will help me get just shy of 2600mm. And that's staggering. Now, when I was shooting it this summer, I shot in crop mode, which gave me about 1280mm. And it was incredible. I got shots of the moon really up close, and I was able to get Jupiter and 4 of its moons. So I imagined, well, if I put the 2x extender on there, will it seem like I'm flying over the moon? Will I get in closer to Jupiter? Will I start to see the colors and the banding around the planet? I certainly hope so. Now, some have told me that, f22, there's no way this is going to work out. But if you've ever shot at night, if you've ever shot at the moon or the stars, you'll realize that, relatively speaking, there's an awful lot of light there, and I'm pretty sure that even with f22, with the 800mm and the 2x extender, I'm probably going to get some good shots, and that's one of the reasons why I opted for the Manfrotto 504X and an aluminum tripod, a heavy-duty one. My last tripod kind of died on me, and as I started looking at other tripods to get, every time I looked in the reviews, I could see that there was this consistent theme of issues, and I thought, well, this is a lot of money to spend for this issue, so I kept looking, and one thing led to another, and before you know it, you're up into that very expensive price range. And I wasn't willing to pay for that. But then I found this one on sale for $300 off, and I thought, this just might do it. And here's another problem too. You get to a certain point in life where you'd rather spend a little extra and then not have to replace it ever again than constantly replacing your gear every few years. And that's kind of what I was looking at doing here. I wanted to get a tripod that would work very well for video, but that could also work for photos if I need. Now, this is my second tripod. I do have another tripod that can work perfectly well for photos. But what this is going to allow me to do is have enough weight so that way I'm going to be able to anchor down the R5 with the 800mm and the 2x extender without it seeming like there's an earthquake going on. Now, in this video that I showed you earlier where, oh, let me put it up again, the moon, this was actually pretty shaky, but, well, I wouldn't say super shaky, but you could see the moon was shaking a little bit. But thanks to stabilization and Final Cut, it looks like this. Perfectly smooth, no shakiness whatsoever. So there's a few things going on, but I also cropped in a little bit more to get this level of detail. So I'm really excited. I'm hoping that, I think the next full moon is just before Christmas. So I'm hoping to get out there on a clear, cold night. Cold is good because cold means the air is going to be still. At least I hope so. -5, anything colder than -5, and I'm not going to be too happy, but I'm really looking forward to it. And whatever I find out, I'll let you guys know. But I've had this lens for almost a week now, and every time I try to go outside, the weather says, yeah, no, or I've gone outside and there's been absolutely no wildlife whatsoever, so that's another frustrating part. But that's it for now. Thank you for listening to me ramble on, but don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already for your chance to win the Syncolav S6E and the M3 shotgun microphones. I'll be awarding these two prizes once the channel reaches 20,000 subscribers. And then for every 10,000 or so subscribers thereafter, I'll be offering up a newer and better prize all the way up to 100,000 subscribers, at which point I'll be awarding a brand new Canon EOS R5 full-frame mirrorless camera to one lucky viewer. And on that bombshell, thanks so much for watching The Ordinary Filmmaker. We'll see you again soon.